Hello everybody. So the first exercise we're going to look at in this series is one note 16 note timing. So first of all, I'm on the Canvas page right now and you can see that we have the exercise here. You'll have my video tutorial. Then there will be a practice track, and that practice track includes this exercise at a slower tempo and a faster tempo, and it goes through that 2 times, and there's a count off. So I would highly recommend, as you practice these exercises, to work with the metronome practice tracks. All right. And then finally here you'll be able to click on the assignment and find a spot where you can actually upload the assignment. So I think that this is going to be a really nice tool between the tutorial, having demonstrations by some of our senior members, and then of course having Canvas as a way to access practice tracks and things of that nature. So if there's anything about the exercise you don't understand, please feel free to use the comment section to let me know what questions you may have. All right, so without any further ado, let's get into the explanation.
All right, so in one note timing, there's a lot of things about this exercise that I think are great for you guys as individual players. Typically in a drumline setting, we would start with 8 on a hand, but what I really like about individually starting with one note timing is you get to use both hands at the same time and see how they interact with one another, and you can use your ears to make sure that everything is smooth and even. All right, so this is a 4-2-1 exercise, so right away we see the fours, right? It's going to take up these 4 measures. You play a measure of 16th notes, a measure of right hands. All right, this, although it just says R, that means for the rest of the measure we're going to play right hands. And I guess it's not super clear because for here we go right back to our alternating as you would assume to. And then in this 4th measure we have all left hands that go throughout the measure. All right, so basically we have our 16-note rhythm, which is both hands put together, and then we have our 8th notes, which are ones and ands, 2 and 3 and 4 and, right? And then we go back to our 16th notes, and then we have a 16th note rest on beat 1, so the next note's going to be E, right? And it takes up 2 notes, E and because it's an 8th note, and then we have and that's what we have for the rest of the measure: 1 E, a 2 E, a 3 E, a 4 E, right? Now I'm saying the number, but you're really only playing the E's and U's, so it would just go sound something like this: ready, go, E, 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 1. Right? So the trick to success in this exercise is, one, making sure that you line up every single beat with your feet, right? So I'm going to show you, like, oops, that was a poor demonstration of where the beat is. I apologize. So for the beats, beat 1, beat 2, right? Your feet are going to line up, sorry, with all these things. I'll try to make sure I am a little better in the future. All right. Easy enough, that we get, but here is where it gets a little odd, right? It's on all the rest that you go. So I don't really want that to confuse you, so I'm going to kind of start over in terms of what you're looking at. But the thing is you have to know where the beat falls, right? You have to understand how the patterns work. So this measure here is actually very similar to, in 3-note timing, this measure, right? So this is a rest in this piece, so it's where your feet are going to go. Foot left, left foot left, left foot left, left foot left, left right. Okay? So as you're practicing, you really want to think about filling in those 16th note rests with your feet when you're marking time. And if you're a front ensemble person and you're not marking time, you still need to think about the pulse being there. All right? So as I said, these are the 4s, right? And you do them 1 time. And then here are the 2s. And it's 1 time through, and then you repeat it, so that ends up being 2 times. Okay, and then at the end, 1 E and a 2 and 3 E and a E, a 1 E and a 2 and 3. It's the same thing there, right? So it's kind of already repeated in itself, and then it has a repeat. So the 1s you end up doing 4 times total. Now you technically only repeat it twice, but because it's split up into 2 measures, then you end up doing the 1s 4 times, okay? So as you practice with your practice track recording, you'll be able to hear that math, exactly what I'm talking about, okay? So in terms of common pitfalls, obviously marking time gets kind of tricky in the E and A measures. And then again at the 1s, this section, you're going to want to make sure that you look at in this section. You might even just isolate, practicing right here, right? I'm going to go ahead and highlight. Practicing ready and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a E, 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 1. okay? A lot of people have problems not getting lost in that. So they add an extra note or they take out a note. I think what's really going to be critical here is thinking about your foot timing and making sure you're counting. That's really what's going to help you do it the best. That and using the practice track. All right, another thing that people don't understand or they struggle with is the flow. So in this first measure, obviously everything is all the hands, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. But when you keep going, you need to let your hands keep flowing. Don't stop the stick with your right hand, just let it keep moving. And then when you get here, you want to not stop the stick with your left hand. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a E, right? Just keep your left hand flowing. And that is what's going to get you to having it be smooth and seamless in your transitions, okay? So I hope this helps you with the explanation. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over to Adam, and he's going to demonstrate it one time through.